If you're new to this channel, pause, click the subscribe button, click the like, and come back and watch this video, because I promise you this video is very, very interesting. It's not a story, but it's an appreciation video, gratitude video, but I promise you, you'd want to come back for more. That I can bet on. Hi, my name is Chamaka Blessing Amani. I am also called CBN, and today is my birthday. When I was writing my WAEC, I was returning from papers one day. No, not WAEC. I think NICO. It was NICO, yes, because NICO was the one we did from home. So I was on a bike. Then in Kano State, they recently released tricycle. That's the all keke napep that we all know. So I was on a bike, not keke, heading home after that paper. I can't remember the paper we had, and all of a sudden from nowhere I found this keke, that's a tricycle, hits me. I fell off from the bike. I can remember, I remember, because it's at the point you want to die. That's when your life flashes like in your eyes. So I felt, or I knew, I tumbled almost 3 times. And while tumbling, the keke that hits me was moving. They didn't stop. The bike that I was on didn't stop. I was at near-death syndrome, and these 2 people left me. Luckily for me, the bus this is my bike, and this was the distance from a bus that would have run me over. So it stopped, and some of my classmates, I think they were in the bus or inside keke, I don't know, they came down, picked me up, and took me home. I was crying, and then they called my dad, and my dad came and immediately went to the hospital, because we wanted to avoid stories that touched the heart. So when we got to the hospital, we did an x-ray and nothing was found. If you attended nursing school, you know the struggles of a new student trying to make the reading test. That was mine. While I was in school, the first 6 months is always the trying time for every student nurse, and it was advised that at least you pass 6 to 7 subjects. So I remember one night I was sleeping during that A1 and during that 6 months, and I had a dream where I was making a call, calling my godmother, Mrs. Kenny. I told her, Mama, I heard that some people are in the hospital. They're looking for a girl's face. They will change into this beautiful lady's face. In my dream, it was a Muslim girl. So the girl was already with her hijab, very fine, beautiful face with a pointed nose. So they put it on the operating table. And I called her like, they want to do this, they want to do that. She said, okay, come to the house, come and meet me at home. I said, no, Mama, I will wait for you at the GOPD and come and meet me. And then immediately I dropped the call. They picked me up and said it was me they were going to use for that face transplant. And they put me on the operating table and started peeling my face from this angle. That was when my godmother came in, and she told me, you see yourself? You're not prayerful. Instead of you to come and meet me, you said I should come and meet you. And then I woke up from the sleep, and that dream was very, very clear to me. It was as if God was talking to me like, my daughter, you're supposed to be prayerful, you're supposed to call to me, but instead you wanted me to come to you. How would I come to you if you don't call to me and all of that? So I woke up, I casually said a little prayer, and then that was it. Fast forward to 2 weeks later, I was in the same GOPD, gisting with my classmates, my classmates rather. Our chairman then, I think he was on duty then, so all of a sudden I felt a splash on my neck. Now beside the GOPD, there is a mango tree that had fruits, but they were not ripe because that wasn't mango season. So when I touched that stuff, I was like, it was yellow, and I'm like, ha, which one can be this one? Where mango follow from? I smelt it. It wasn't smelling. So that's my chairman casually said, CBN, they don't send something, can't give you from village. Immediately I went to Holy Ghost fire mode. You understand that? Blood of Jesus. I cover myself and all of that. So I went to the hostel and I prayed. I called my aunts, they did prayers for me and all of that. Ideally, when you fail 4 subjects or more, you're going to leave School of Nursing Usasa. But brethren, out of 8 subjects, I failed 7 and I passed only 1. This is it. But God being so faithful, I made it. I finished School of Nursing. I graduated from St. Luke's School of Nursing in 2012. Gratitude can never be overemphasized. It is said that if I am not grateful, that means I am a great fool. 2016, while I was going to visiting Gombe for the first time, was it 2016? I guess I can't remember the actual year. I was visiting Gombe for the first time, and I left School of Nursing around after 2 to the park, which was a very terrible mistake on my part. I was supposed to have left earlier because my dad called me around that 2, and I said I was at the park. So he thought I was at Gombe Park. He called me back and said, "Which park am I?" I said, "Kazara." He said I should go back to school, that I shouldn't embark on that journey. I ignored, and I was determined to leave Zaria that day. So I boarded the bus. Little did I know that the bus wasn't going straight to Gombe. It would stop at Bauchi and transfer us to another car. So we left the park roughly 4 o'clock. And when we get to Bauchi, the driver stopped. That was his last bus stop. He was going to put us into another car, into another vehicle, which he did. And we waited for a couple of, I think an hour plus, for the vehicle to the field. So while going, the driver was trying to beat traffic so that he would get to Gombe before 12 o'clock. Because once it's 12 o'clock and you're not in Gombe, once you've not passed that checkpoint, they won't let you pass. You sleep at that checkpoint with the soldiers. So we left Gombe, we left Bauchi, and we started going. I can't remember the name of the place because, like I said, it's my first time. And all of a sudden we ran into a trap. From afar we saw the blockage. We thought maybe they are police because we've been passing lots of checkpoints on the road, so we thought they were police. But immediately we got closer, that was when we discovered that the road was totally blocked. So before my driver could like reverse and all of that, they came out from the bushes. They were hiding. These Fulani herdsmen were hiding in the bushes, and they came out and they attacked us. And our vehicle was the first vehicle that they attacked. This happened around after 10 p.m. The first thing I said was, "Father, I'm sorry." That was us begging my dad. I was like, "Daddy, I'm sorry. I should have listened to you. You told me not to embark on this journey, but my stubbornness did not allow me." So they ordered us to calm down. The guy that was sitting beside me, they hit him with the head of the gun. If that's what they call it. They searched us. They searched us. When I mean they searched us. But you know the amazing twists in all of this? There was a woman, we're only 2 women actually, in that vehicle that was carrying 600,000 naira cash. When I say cash, I don't mean like transfer. Cash and carry. And she was with 2 bags, 2 big sacks, one of rice, one of gari. And it didn't even dawn on her to put it in the bag, because while we were lying down, when they brought us out from the car and asked us to lie down, while we were lying down, I was praying. You know those prayers, I was like, "Oh God, please send your angel. Lord, just come down. Bring Angel Michael, Angel Gabriel with their sword. Let them confuse these people." Those were the kind of prayers I was praying, because I was just praying like, my imaginations, I was just like, God in heaven, Jesus Christ will just come down like this, his white flowing garments, everywhere will be blinded. I and all of that. That was kind of prayer I was praying. I would pray, oh Lord, let your will be done. Father, I'm sorry for disobeying my father. I'm sorry for disobeying my parents. I will not do it again. If you spare my life, I promise to be an obedient child. I was praying all this prayer and I did not know that God was actually working and responding to my prayer. It's just that He did not respond in the way I thought He would, but He responded by using that woman. A whole 600,000 naira cash. She said she was coming from Calabar. She wanted to buy some things in Gombe. Like, from Calabar to Gombe. When they saw that, they took our phones, they took the guy's laptop. He even wrapped his laptop in this their prayer mat, wrapped it. They still say they were not speaking in Hausa. Arnaye means unbelievers. Means give us our money. Give us our money, unbelievers. That was what they were saying though. They now fired a warning shot. By this time, other vehicles, they've already stopped other vehicles too, and they're doing the same thing. And when I'm saying these people are much, I'm not talking about 5 people. What I was after was, God, may I not be kidnapped. May these people not be Boko Haram. Those were my prayers. So when they opened the boots, they scattered my makeup things everywhere. They took my big phone. Surprisingly, my small phone, my ATM card, they didn't carry it. It was there, but I don't know how God miraculously hid it under one bag, because the phone was in my hand when they stopped us. So, but when they were done with their searching, I saw my phone, I saw my ATM card, and I saw 5,000 naira on the ground. Doctor, when they saw, immediately they opened the boots. The woman, she had a bag full of clothes. She didn't put this money under the clothes. She put it on top of the clothes and zipped it. Cash, everything in bundle. To show you how God is doing His own work. 600k. That was what she told us. But the money was much because it was inside this black bag, nylon bag. So immediately they saw it, they were happy, they were so excited. After taking some shutdown materials from the other guys in the other vehicles, they now left us, and immediately the way they came, that was the same way they disappeared. We stood up. So while everybody was arranging his or her stuff to pick them up, my camera, they took it in the process. But what I was so grateful to God was, they didn't kill nobody, they didn't injure nobody, they didn't take anybody. And then I asked myself, what if they did not see that 600k? What would have been my own story? I would have been married by now. So 2019, my ex-boyfriend, should I call him boyfriend or fiancé, came to visit my people, and that was in November. And 2020, I went to visit his people for them to get to know me, and I was visiting Imo State for the first time. I left early, arrived late. It's not my fault though. So I boarded a bike when I got to my final destination before his house. I boarded a bike to his family compound, and he even spoke to the bike man. And the bike man told him, he told the bike man where he was. The bike man said he knew the place and he was going to bring me there. Little did I know that I was in for a lot of shit. So as we were going, me being the very jovial person that I am, he was conversing with me and I was answering him. He was asking me, oh, this is the first time I've been visiting. I said yes. He said, who did I come to see? I said my fiancé. And he was like, oh, that's nice. What brought me? I said I came for makeup, because his brother's wife was getting married on Saturday. This happened on Friday. His brother's wife was getting married on Saturday. So you know how villages is. If you are an eastern person and you travel, you know how the roads are. The roads are untarred and, you know, corner by corner, ikoro. So we were going through this dark lanes, and in my mind I was like, okay, I think this, because somehow that's almost kind of the road to my village. Before you see houses, you have to pass lots of bushes, and I was like, okay. But then at a point I started becoming scared because we were the only ones on the bike, on the road path. He asked me that when we were going, there was a car that was following us behind. That car was the one that got me scared first. If only I knew, I would have allowed that car to continue following us. So I now told him to gradually slow down to allow the car pass, because I felt like it was a trap. And when the car passed, it was carrying cake, and I said, maybe that car isn't going to the location I was going to, because I was wearing cake in it. So we now diverted to the right corner, and he was going inside. All of a sudden, Uncle parked machine, and he held me and told me to calm down. Immediately, all the goosebumps on my body rose up. I started bleeding. I said, "Sir, I'm sorry. Take all the money you have." Because the first thing on my mind was, what if he kills me? God, I was so scared. I've never been scared like that. Even when I was held at gunpoint, I wasn't scared, but I was super scared that day, and I pleaded. All my pleading went on deaf ears. He asked me to call people to send money and all of that. And then he now gave me my phone to make the call, and immediately I sent an SOS message to my then fiancé that I've been kidnapped, and I deleted it immediately. And then he started calling. He called and called. The kidnapper actually asked me to not call him, because I first of all called him that, please, can I get some amount of money from you? Immediately he knew, the kidnapper knew it was him I was talking to. He collected the phone, cut it and slapped me and asked me not to do that. Then I've already sent the message. So I called a couple of friends who helped me raise some amount of money, gave him my ATM card. He asked me for my PIN. He told me that I should tell him the exact PIN, that if he should go and find out it's the wrong PIN, he's coming back with his guys and they're going to do whatever it is they want to do with me and kill me there, and nobody will know, nobody will find out who did it. So I gave him my correct PIN. He took my phones, took my ATM card, took my jewelry, and left and tied me, hands and feet bound to a palm tree and eyes closed, mouth shut. Immediately he left. How I was able to release myself from that grip was something that only God can explain, because I don't. Till today, it's more like a nightmare. So immediately he left. Immediately I was sure that I could not hear his vehicle again. My rope loosed from my arms, because my arms were tied behind me to a tree. It loosed, but I wasn't able to loose the one on my right hand. To show you how tight it was, I loosed my foot, loosed my mouth, my eyes. My sister was like, you were in the middle of that and you still have the strength to pack your things. I packed all my clothes, my makeup box, put it inside the big Ghana mosquito that I was carrying, put it on my head, my slippers was holding my hand. I started running. I don't know where I was running to, but I was running. Now while running, I saw a light. Normally, the person, I'm supposed to react by waving to the lights, like a light of a car coming. I was supposed to wave and tell the car to stop. But something told me to run into the bush and hide. Now I ran into this bush. I was not even scared of scorpions. I was not even scared of snakes. I was not even scared of anything biting me. My own was, I should just leave that road. So immediately I ran into the bush and lay flat. You know, cassava plantations now, so I lay down very flat. And the car passed with speed. Immediately passed, I picked myself up until I went to the main road. So while running towards the main road, there was a building by the right hand side which had lights on. I stopped by the building and I was knocking on the gates until the security man came out. He was with gun first, you know, Igbo, the East now, you had to be careful. So he first of all checked around to make sure that I was not with people maybe trying to, you know. So when I narrated my ordeal with it to him, I asked him for his phone. I made a call to my then fiancé and they came to pick me where I was. This happened on Friday night, remember. On Sunday, while I was going to the hospital for checkups, the same guy that carried me, I was on the bike when I saw him coming in with, because that day was supposed to be that should be January 3rd. No, I went to January 3rd, that was on Friday. That should be Sunday was 4th, 5th, I guess January 5th or so. So the same guy, the jeans he was wearing was a new one, the top was a new one. His jacket was the same jacket he wore when he carried me. This Igbo red, white and black cap was the same cap he wore when he picked me. Then he wore the bead, both hands. That was the same bead he wore. He covered his eyes. He was wearing a shade and he had new haircut. So he was wearing a shade. I wouldn't have discovered he was the one. But as we passed, I had goosebumps all over my body. And then I told my guy that I think that's the guy. He said, "Are you sure he's the one? I don't want to go and embarrass somebody." I said, "He is the one." He said, "Am I sure?" I said, "Yes." So we told the bike man to turn. As God will have it, God made him to be pressed at that moment. And he was peeing when we stopped. Immediately I turned and looked at him and said, "Oga, they said a clear conscience fears no accusation, right? The wicked one is when no man pursueth it." And I said, "Oga, well done, no. You need to see the race he took." He started running, so we started shouting thief, thief. And people were still around during that January period. So we started shouting thief, thief, thief. People now captured him. He now denied, oh, he did not know me, oh, he did not do this one, he did not do that one. But after much beating, he now accepted that yes, it's true, it's me. That he collected my phones, my money, and all of that. Now the thing is, I was told that a few years back, that same road that because they later took those people to see the place that thing happened. They said that same road, a girl was seen, killed, like she died on that same road. Lots of murders have been taking place. Now I asked myself, what would have happened? Ha! And I had a serious fight with my dad that day. What would have happened to me? For each day that I wake up, each day that I'm alive and healthy, whether I've eaten or not eaten, whether I have money or don't have money, and he wakes me up, he keeps me fresh and glowing, he gives me fats, he's not true with me. He's not.